say hello to everybody and welcome to Primos podcast today. This is our very first episode, actually, and we have an amazing guest that's going to join us today. The one and only, we're going to introduce him right now, the number three ranked pro middleweight in the state of Georgia and Tennessee, correct? And the former Valor Fights light heavyweight champion and former Arius Fight Series middleweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Torrez, El Punisher Finney. Torrez, bienvenido al podcast. How are you, bro? ¿Cómo estás?
I'm doing great today, brother, man. Yes, sir. Happy to be on here with you, Joel. Hey, this is the start, man. Happy to be on the first episode. It's an honor, man. So, thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Again, appreciate you very much. It's super awesome to talk to MMA, athlete like yourself, man. So again, I hope I got everything right on that introduction. Did I get everything right there?
Yes, you did, brother. Yes, sir. And look, even if you just said MMA fighter Torrez Finney, you covered it all, man.
All right. Well, you're the Punisher, so you deserved, all the hype. The hype is for real. We're in on the hype. We're in on the hype today. All right. Well, everybody, this man, he is 4-0 as a pro mixed martial artist. He's undefeated in the sport of MMA. He's got 9 wins in MMA. So yeah, we want to just start off, man, by first congratulating you, bro, on your big win last Friday at Ikon FC 5, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, that was a big win for me. Win against Ivan Batinic. He was 5-1. Bellator vet, won on Bellator, just beat a guy. Just beat a really good prospect. That was 6-1. So he was on the come up, and it was a big fight between the both of us. So that was a really good win in my opinion for me, and a lot of things to continue to work on. But I'm very happy on going there and getting a victory, and also getting the finish. That's one of the big things. Not allowing it to go to the judges, man. So that was big.
That is true, man. Very much a step up in competition for you. Like you said, your toughest opponent to date. And you got it done, like you said, by third round TKO, ground and pound. You've been kind of following that same formula to success in a lot of your fights, just being able to get the takedowns and really control the fight on the ground like that, and initiate your game plan with the ground and pound. And so many guys have had such a trouble being able to handle that pressure that you bring in the cage, bro.
Yeah, man, it's something we work on a lot here at Agogi, man. I'm big on constant pressure, constant pace, constant activity. I like to try to make my opponent work. I'm constantly working on you, but I'm constantly going to make you work the entire time. I'm not trying to give you time to think. I'm not trying to give you time to breathe. And that's the way I like to fight, man. It's a very Usman, Habibish, type feel, and I like that style, constant pressure, constant activity. And, one thing, it was a credit from Jorge. A lot of people see my size and they think, oh man, he's a big muscular guy, he's on the gas out. But no, actually, my cardio is actually one of my weapons.
Right.
I can at pace. I can keep going. So I'm going to consistently keep proving people wrong. And I'm happy, man. I'm happy to see where this journey takes us.
Amazing, bro. You got that wrestler cardio for sure, man. And you said the right name. You do remind me of Usman, the way you're able to pressure those guys in the cage, like a young Usman, how we saw him when he first came into the UFC. He was very wrestling heavy approach, but hey, it worked, and he was able to get the job done. And everybody that he faced, he was able to get him out of there. Get the decision or get the victory. So no matter what, so that's amazing. But also, bro, I do want to wish you a happy early birthday, okay? I did check out your Tapology, of course. So, yeah. Man, happy birthday to you, bro.
Thank you very much, man. Yes, sir. Yeah, birthday's coming up, so I will be turning 24. No better way to have a good birthday present than having a big win. So,
that's it. Yeah, man. Any plans for the big day?
Going home, because I'm currently here in Chattanooga, so I'm going home to my home in Macon, Georgia, and I'm just going to be chilling there, with the family, staying with the family throughout the week. because I train full time. This is all I do. I train every day. So that I'm just gonna go home and just chill. Just have some time just to lay down and relax. I'm still gonna be training even when I'm back at home, but it's not gonna be as strenuous as me being here. So
Nice, man. Yeah, family time is the best time. So sounds good.
no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, man. So tell us, what's it like fighting in Jorge Masvidal's promotion? The BMF. He is one of the biggest stars in the sport. And I did see you guys got a photo together. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, me and Jorge. I've got an opportunity to talk to Jorge on multiple different occasions. And it's been an honor to be able to fight in a promotion like that. If you look at the track record of the promotion, they have been getting guys to the UFC a lot. There's a guy named Hamdi. He was a heavyweight. And heck, Hamdi had the same record I had. He went 4-0 and got straight into the UFC, no contender. Bo Nickel, he went on the contender series, but Bo Nickel, icon, SD Dumas, icon, contender series. So, and Bo Nickel and SD Dumas are both middleweights, that's,
Right.
And so far I say Jorge is 2-0 on those middleweights, getting them in, and I feel like he's going to be 3-0 because I am next. And you look at what the promotion brings to the table, and it brings good eyes. I mean, Jorge brings really good eyes to that. The last show, not this past show, even though it still did well, but the Ikon FC 4, the first one I fought on, it was one of the highest rated things on UFC Fight Pass for a regional show. And they did really good, man. It was a really stacked card as well. But man, that show was really good, and they do really put on a really good performance, man. So
No doubt, man. A lot of good middleweight. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. It's very interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting on what they bring to the table. So I enjoy the lights, the production value, the way they treat you. So it's good, man. You'll like it. It's one of those great promotions.
No doubt, man. A lot of good middleweight prospects on the come up then, huh? And also, yeah, Jorge Masvidal, obviously bringing a lot of eyeballs, just the name and the exposure you get as a fighter fighting on his promotion. And yeah, the quality, man, it really looked like a very, well-run organization event, especially for the fans watching on Fight Pass and everything. Great experience for the fan. I'm sure for the athletes as well.
Yes, definitely. It is really, really good experience, man. And it's one of those things where you watch, when you're there, you're like, man, this is about as close as you can get to a big promotion as possible on the regional, in my opinion. So, it gives you that big fight feel. And,
right.
It's one of those things where it's a good time to get accustomed to something like that. Because, a lot of people don't get a chance to be in that type of atmosphere. A lot of people don't understand fighting is just as much mental as it is physical. And you have great training. You can have a warrior that is really good in the training room, but when the lights come on, things could be different. So being able to fight under those lights is a vital part to your fight game. So a lot of people got to really recognize that. But Ikon does a really good job in putting the lights on, man. And I've been really happy to be able to fight for them.
Wow, man. Yeah, that is a good point of view by a fighter that maybe us fans, we don't always, see that. But yeah, so it seems like you got a taste of the big show there, and you thrive under them bright lights, huh?
Yeah, man, I try my best too, brother. Yeah. So, it's funny, yes, I know I don't have a lot of experience MMA wise per se, compared to like the guy I just fought. He's been fighting for a long time. So
Yeah.
much more experience than I do. But granted, when you look at the whole totality, like I've been wrestling all my life. So I understand that one-on-one aspect of the sport. And, I've wrestled in the state championship in my own hometown, Macon, Georgia. Like majority, the school was closing down, like to come see me wrestle. And there's guys all over, and the whole, it's called the Macon Coliseum. That whole place was packed. And it was just me and another guy in the middle of the mat, and you talking about like some nerves, like my heart was thumping. I had nerves. Oh man, that is when my nerves were probably at its highest. And I haven't had those type of nerves since like I don't know I've had nerves every fight, but it's not as as the more I fight, the more comfortable I get. You know, even though the stakes are keep rising, but I start to get more comfortable because I've been in the cage. I'm starting to understand what I'm going. I understand my game as well. So, like, if I was still searching for my game, then yes, I would be nervous. But I think I know my game. I know my pathway to victory. So I'm not as nervous as I used to be. But but don't I like what Conor McGregor said. He's like, don't be fooled. They're lying to you. They step in the cage and they're not nervous, or they don't have any fear.
Right.
Every man that steps in the cage has some sort of fear, because it's the fear of the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. So you can say, I'm going to knock him out in the first round, I'm going to do this. Yes, you can say that, but we all know in the back of your head, the heck is in the back of your head, to be straight up honest with you, that you have a little fear. And it's okay. But the one that wins is the one that know how to channel it and be comfortable in the uncomfortable. So, that's a part of, going into the cage and fighting, man. And it's a vital part. I love it.
Of course, man. I'm sure all the sports, competing in football at such a young age, and all the wrestling that you've done, in high school, you're so used to that competition, so you can kind of draw from that. You have that experience, and the state championships that you've won for in Georgia. So that's great, man. So is there anything else that any advice that he said, anything that Masvidal gave you that you might want to share? I know he had some great words for you on his interview with MMA Fighting. He said a lot of great things about you.
Yeah, man. I was definitely so after the first time I fought for Icon, I went to Miami with my agent and chill with him for a week. But I got an opportunity to train at America Top Team with Jorge. Excuse me. I got a chance to train with Jorge, and it was fun. It was good to train with those guys. Got a chance to train with Jorge. Bo Nick was on the mat, and all those guys, some other UFC fighters, Finney Outlaw, Bellator fighters. So there were some really good guys on the mat, and I got a chance to go with those guys. But as time went on, man, it was got some really good advice. Learned some different things, and after the fight, this past fight, Jorge, he was talking to me, man. He credited me like, man, a lot of people don't do what you do, in that type of fight. You went against a really experienced opponent, and a lot of guys with gas. I've seen a few fights, where a guy would wrestle, and he would wrestle for so long, and he would tire himself out from wrestling, and then I do believe that my opponent game plan was to take me to the deep waters and try to finish me in the later rounds. But I don't think people don't understand, man. Like, the later rounds, like, that's when I start to thrive.
Right.
Because you're heavy, and I'm going to keep attacking, and I'm going to keep coming forward. So what are you going to do? So, but he gave me some really good words, man, to definitely stay up, and he wants me to come back and keep training with him a few more times. So, it was good to have some really encouraging word from Jorge, and not only him, some really good guys from within the management company as well. So I feel like we're on the right track. We have a lot of good things hopefully ahead of us.
Bro, that's so awesome, and such good experience for you to be able to get some rounds in with those top guys, man, and just see how, I'm sure it's good for your confidence, just so you see how you stack up against, the best. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is good for the confidence, man. A lot of people don't get when you get a chance to go with some of the guys that are best in the world, and you see how you do against those guys. It is confidence building, man. I also got a chance, like, during this fight camp, I trained at Extreme Couture, and man, going with Sean Strickland, Chris Curtis,
Wow.
I mean, just killer after killer. Got a chance to train with Dewey Cooper. He's the striking coach for Francis Ngannou, and got a chance to go with Brad Tavares in wrestling. Just a lot of top tier guys in the UFC. And to see how you do against them, man, it's really a confidence booster, because you're thinking like, man, I can't compete with these guys. I am on that level.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing, because especially you being such a young guy, and with not having many years in the sport, you're able to realize, like, hey, like, I'm already at this level at this age with these many years in the sport. Imagine where you can be in 3 to 5 years,
Yeah. Yes. So that's one thing I'm ready to do, man. So Um, whatever comes, I'm ready.
Yeah, man. I mean, Chris Curtis, Sean Strickland, there's top 15 middleweights in the UFC. I think Strickland's like in the top. Strickland's definitely in the top 10, and I think Chris Curtis is in the top 15.
Oh,
That's
Strickland.
awesome.
Oh, it was good to go. And then you got Sadiq. He's fighting for the 170 $1 million tournament, PFL. So
Okay.
got a chance to go with him. Got a chance to go with Jay Haran. Jay Haran has fought in the UFC. He was 23-7.
Hmm,
Fought Ben Askren. He fought Tyron Woodley. He fought some killers. Um,
definitely.
and it was just good to go with a lot of really good guys. There's a lot of guys that entire map was filled with so many UFC level fighters, and let alone not only those guys, but my own teammate Trevor Peak. Trevor is he's a dog, man. He's a monster, and he's a UFC talent now. He just won the Dana White Contender Series, so to
Dog.
have a guy like that in the training room, man, it only makes you better. So it improves everyone, not only me, but everyone on the team. So we're growing day by day.
Yeah, that's great, man. Having that team camaraderie and such an awesome partner. But yeah, I did want to talk to you, bro. You did say that you thought that it wasn't your best performance last week, although it was. You also said he was your toughest test. So can you just elaborate on that? Why you felt that way? That it was not your best performance when you clearly dominated?
So, like, look, I'm starting to understand it a little bit now. But a lot of people, a lot of people within my camp knows my what I exactly like to do. And I'm still young in the game, and I understand this, and I'm learning. I know you can't finish everyone in round one. I understand that, and that's the goal every time. But I felt like there was opportunities for me to finish the fight earlier, and I just didn't attempt to go for it. Hard to say. Well, what's the reason why? But now I'm going to correct a lot of those mistakes. And the thing is, a lot of people haven't even seen nearly 50% of my game. I have so much in the bag that people haven't even seen, and that's a good thing, man. People don't really know my whole game. I know they think I'm wrestle heavy, and I am. I'm not going to deny that, but I am just as good on the feet. My submission game is really good. I do lots and lots of jiu-jitsu, which really helps my wrestling. People really don't understand my game overall yet, and that's a good thing, and I don't want them to. I want to continue to grow, and I just want to have my 1-2 punch to beat you, my 1-2 go-to. And if that's good enough to beat high-level talent, I'm going to keep using that until they make me utilize more of my skill set. But I'm ready to go, and I know what I can do to beat a lot of guys with just what I do now. So,
Right.
but yes, I feel that was the overall best performance for me, mainly because I wanted to finish earlier. I went in the corner. I was sitting there thinking, talking to my corner. I was like, man, I need that finish, man. I did not want to go to the decision. So, I'm thankful that I was able to go in there and get the finish. But yeah, there's some things I definitely like to work on. But you're right. The fight wasn't close at all. He didn't get a chance to really exert any offense, and that's what I want. But I want it done faster. So but look, that's the growth of the game, man. Look,
Yeah.
obviously you wouldn't champion like Leon Edwards. You wouldn't think Leon Edwards wanted to beat Usman in the first round,
Of course.
but it took him to the fifth round to get the job done. But what happened? He got the job done. Same thing with a guy like we got the titles fights coming up soon. You don't think Oliveira or Islam want to finish your guy in the first round? If it doesn't end in the first round, obviously they're gonna be still happy they got the job done. So,
Hmm.
my coaches were telling me, be happy that you got the win. Obviously we want to keep on improving, but I am happy that I got the win. But I am going to continue to get better.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. And again, like you said, he was the toughest opponent to date. He fought in Bellator, and he trains at AKA. He's trained with Cormier, Islam, a lot of the great fighters that are coming out of that camp. Coach Javier Mendez. So, I mean, hey, the way you were able to dominate him, that speaks volumes about your game. But yeah, that's good to know that you're confident, and there is more tools in your shed that we have not seen yet. So.
Yeah.
The best is yet to come, I'm sure. And we love the line. We love that line that you use after each victory, by the way.
If
You know,
you
we
can
love
smell
that.
cooking,
If
yes,
you can
sir.
smell what the Torrez is cooking. But you
Yeah.
sometimes you have said what the champ is cooking before too.
So let me
I
tell you
caught that.
something.
I caught that.
I did get to say champ. The reason why I said champ, so it was after actually the first Tristan Scarborough fight. So
Mm,
I said champ because I was the champ at the time, and then I was champ for basically my entire amateur career, and I was like, all right, I'm about to have my pro debut. What am I gonna say? After the first pro victory, and now it's I just go with Torres. So until I get another belt, it's gonna be can you smell what Torres is cooking? So yeah.
yeah, that's awesome, bro. The fans are. It's something cool for the fans. Like everybody's waiting for it when they know you get your hand raised. All right, he's gonna say it. That's your
Yeah.
catchphrase.
Yeah. So yeah, it's something I yes, obviously I'm a big pro wrestling fan.
Yeah.
My favorite pro wrestler is The Undertaker. I love
Ooh,
Undertaker, but I am
good
a big
man.
fan of The Rock, man. I am a huge fan of The Rock. So
Oh yeah,
I,
he's the
I
man
like I like both of those guys, man.
for sure, man. So you train at a Gogi Combative, right?
Yeah.
So how was the camp this time around?
I've told people multiple times. I said it in interviews before. I said this is the best training camp I've ever been. This is my best ever training camp. I felt good. Cardio felt good. Body felt good. I wasn't sore anywhere. I wasn't hurt anywhere. Um, man, I felt good. And the reason why I know I felt really good because after the fight, I mean, yes, I didn't barely take it down. I had a little small cut on the eye, if you count that. But besides that, I mean, I was good, man. I literally trained. I just got done training yesterday. Like I trained on Tuesday. I took Monday off because we was coming back from traveling, but I trained Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So like the training hadn't stopped for me because I want to continue to get better. And that Friday to me felt like no more than a hard training session. That's it. Oh,
Right on, man. So yeah, eat, train, sleep, repeat. That's kind of the lifestyle you're living, right? I mean, I hear the commentators in your fights in the past have said, just how focused you are, how dedicated, that you live in the gym, you don't have a girlfriend, none of that stuff. Like this is all you want. Your mind is set on this. So I mean, that to me is just tells me that you have that championship mentality, that championship DNA, that you see the goal and you're going and you're putting in the work so that you can, achieve that.
yeah, right, man. This is literally all I want right now. This is my only focus. This is I put it all on the line for this. A lot of people don't understand. Like when you go, I was in college, and when COVID hit, MMA was a pathway I never even thought would be something I would do. You could have never told me that MMA was going to be the reason why I'm fighting. You would have never told. I couldn't believe that MMA was going to be something like this 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I would have never thought that I'm on the verge of, fighting a big promotion. I couldn't. I would have never thought that, man. You couldn't. I would have never thought that. And time has went on, man, and I've been blessed. I thank the Lord for everything He's done for me in my life, and
Amen.
it's been an honor, man. It's been an honor, and um, yeah, I agree, man. It's wild. It's surreal,
Yeah.
because you don't think early this year I didn't think the way this year has ended it would be like this. I knew I was going to be building my name up, but I didn't know it was going to be getting close towards jumping in a big promotion almost after year one. So I've been blessed, man, and I want to continue to keep working hard and doing this name. So I'm feeling it.
Amen, brother. 9 fights in 2 years. I mean, your first one was in October 2020. So
Yeah.
basically, it's 9 fights in 2 years. I mean, you've been so active in the cage, and but you really haven't taken a lot of damage. I mean, I've seen all your fights. You really haven't taken much damage in the cage. It's been kind of the same thing. You get them in like how does Brock Lesnar say, Suplex City? But I mean, you're slamming them, but that's what it feels like when they're getting in there with you. It's gonna be Slam City, whatever. You're gonna pick them up. You're gonna drop them. I know Tristan was on the commentary. He called it Air Finney on your.
Yeah,
I think with your the fight with Mattress. You went the whole 5 rounds in that one.
I did. That was my that lingers with me still because in the second round I finished him. Second round I had him dead right, and I did not get to finish. And you know, now yes, that was another fight that wasn't close. Obviously, it was I won every round, but I was still I was still mad about that. I was just mad about it because I just know everybody deserves to be finished. Everybody's gonna. I want to everybody. Everybody deserves to finish. So that's what I'll be looking for, man. And I just didn't get it that time, but doing everything, I'm working hard every time to make sure I never go to a decision.
Right on, man. So what's that feeling like, man? I've always wanted to ask fighters, like, what's that feeling like when you're about to walk into the cage? And you did touch on that a little bit, when you're about to make that walk or that run, because I've seen you run to the octagon as well. Because you seem like you're such a good guy outside the cage, and then the Punisher, like Usman sometimes says, that Nigerian nightmare comes out, and then like you're what's that feeling like when you're walking into the cage? Are you still Torrez there, or is that the Punisher at that point?
No, that's the Punisher, man. I gives no craps about anybody I'm about to fight. Now I'm respectful after the fight and respectful before the fight, but after during the fight, you're my enemy. I'm going in there to smash you, and I don't look. I have no sympathy for you. You have to turn that switch. You have to turn that switch, man. Because if you don't, you go in there trying to be safe and happy and like I ain't gonna try to hurt you. That's when you get hurt. It's an old football quote. It's like when you go in half speed, that's the time you actually get hurt. You need to go full speed at all time. I need to go in there trying to hurt you the entire time. Nothing's supposed to be soft. Nothing's supposed to be, oh, he's a good guy. I don't want to hurt him too bad. I'm not thinking about that. If I get a Kimura on you, I'm not gonna sit here and be nice and like, all right, now you better tap. No, I'm gonna crank on that thing. It's up to you to make that decision. It's up to you on whether or not you're the one that signed the contract. You're the one that stepped in the cage. So whatever happens in the cage that's up to you.
Right on, man. So yeah, when you're in there, it's that competition mode, you would say.
Yes.
So yeah, that's good to know, man. So yeah, we did talk about Trevor Peek. I did want to ask you about that, man. We last saw him get that comeback on Dana White's Contender Series in September. So yeah, what's it like training with him?
Oh man, Trevor's a dog, man. He's one of those guys that is really, really good at like constant. Like he's a striker, but the man does not quit, man. He does not quit no matter what bad position you have him in, no matter what like circumstance he is in. He is not gonna quit, man. He is known for his heart and he has power. Oh, the boy hits hard. For 155er, he might be one of the hardest 155ers, I feel like. It's in the UFC, and the man hits hard, man. And he's gonna be one of those guys you're gonna have to be on the watch for, man. I know a lot of people looking at him, they saw that Contender Series fight, but Trevor comes to fight, man. Trevor comes to fight, and he is going to brawl. But the thing is, a lot of people think he's a brawler, and obviously he can brawl. But Trevor is really technical.
Mm-hmm.
He's really, really technical fighter. It's just, he's still putting things together himself. But overall, man, Trevor's a really good fighter. And he's going to be a problem for a lot of guys, man. He's mean. He's nasty. I mean, when he gets on top of you, he growls. He's like, rah, rah, and like he's gonna try to hurt you, man. So I'm excited to see what's in store for his career as well.
Yeah, man, he showed a lot of heart in that fight. From almost being finished in the first round to come back and put the dude away like that, man. That's a different type of mentality. I mean, I'm sure that impressed Dana White, and everybody that was in attendance. To see him come back like that and show that heart, that was amazing.
Yeah, he really showed the heart and soul in that fight, man. And what a fight it was! What a fight it was!
Yeah, it was. It was amazing, man. So yeah, real quick, man. Tell us about the diet, man. I mean, you're a big guy and everything, and is it hard, to stay disciplined?
Well, so what's funny is outside of camp, no. Do I eat the healthiest? No, I do not. I'm actually about to eat. Well, if you can call it healthy a little bit, but I'm about to eat steak and shrimp and potatoes right now. So right now I'm about to look. I eat anything But inside of camp, yes, I am really disciplined. We have a dietitian here named Brian Green. He does our diets and stuff to help us with our weight cut. We use the Tyler Minton process. We paid Tyler Minton to do my first weight cut because I walk around 215. But during camp about 205, and I usually cut from about 200, 199 to get to 85. So it's not that bad.
Right.
It's not that. If I have to stay true to the regimen, but overall it's not that bad.
Right, man. A lot of temptation, being from Georgia, being from the South and stuff.
Oh,
right?
who you talking to, man? You already know.
All the fried food, man. Come on.
Dude, there's so much good food, man. Especially in the area I'm at now. Dude, I walk outside, there's 8 restaurants everywhere. Like, dude, right up the road. You go right up the road, there's restaurants everywhere. And they all good. So you
It's
can't.
hard. It's hard to resist, huh? Yeah. But you got to stay disciplined, right? Man,
yes.
Because, I mean, you've had 4 pro fights, and 3 of them were at middleweight, but that Jack Zog fight, you weighed in at 228.4 pounds. What was that about, man? Well, you've also fought at 205 as an amateur, but can you just elaborate? Why'd you take that fight? What was that about? The heavyweight matchup.
So one, I was gonna fight. My goal was to fight in May. I had fought in February. I said, all right, I'm gonna fight again in May. Couldn't find an opponent. Aries had went through nearly 20 guys, and all of them said no. So what we did, I said, forget it. I'll fight somebody at 205. We had a 205 guy accept, and then he pulled out. All right.
Oh my gosh.
We're about 3 weeks away from the fight. And no, it was about 2.5 weeks actually. There was nobody. I was like, I'll fight a heavyweight. Give me anybody. And they was able to go and get Jake Zog from Illinois. And the thing is also with Zog is like, so at weigh-ins, it was so stupid. I didn't even know this. But when you weigh in, now Tennessee has a cruiserweight division. So if they have a 225 division, and you just can't be you can't weigh in 2 weight classes under. So obviously he's heavyweight. He was weighed in at 265. So with me, I had to make sure that I'm above 225. So I had to put on a weight vest. That's the reason why it said 228. Oh. But I never weighed 228. I actually was 210 going into the fight.
Okay. I was curious about that, man. That one really stuck out when I was looking at your resume.
I know.
What happened there?
It does. I had to put on a weight vest to make weight.
Okay.
I had to gain weight to make weight. So I wasn't going to gain no freaking 20 pounds in 2 weeks. So I would just put on a weight vest and accept it.
Yeah, I mean, because you fought in light. You were the champion at light heavyweight, in your amateur career. But is it safe to say that right now you're focused on 185 middleweight?
Yes. 185 is my only focus right now. I know a lot of people. I've had some people ask me, "Could you make 170?" And I said, if I'm really willing to die, then I go ahead and make 70. But I'm not ready to die right now. So.
Man, I thought about asking you that myself, man. Could we see you at 170 pounds? Because I think you could be very dangerous there as well. But you're obviously, such a presence at 185. But that's a lot.
I would have to diet outside of camp because I'm just naturally a heavier guy. Cut. I mean, like I said, I walk around. If I'm being comfortable, walk around 215. I mean, to be honest with you, I would probably fight so much more often at 170. If I'm going to be walking around low, I might as well be fighting there because I can't. It's going to be hard for me to walk around 195, 197. I will have to lose a lot of mass. But I feel good at 185, man. And I've seen some of the guys that's in the UFC at the top at 185. So I'm liking my size. My size is good. People don't understand. They're like, look, Robert Whitaker cuts from like 205. To 180. He got the skill set. He's not worried. And look who he's fought. He's fought monsters like Yoel Romero, and he's about to fight Paulo Costa.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a good one.
And I've seen Paulo Costa in person, at the UFC PI. So he's not bigger than me actually. In mass, I'm bigger than him, but he's just got the length and he's cut up now. He's cut up.
He's shredded.
He's shredded, but he's not all like, oh my gosh, big. I know TV and make it look like that, but I see them in person. It's not. It ain't. It's not as eye popping as you would think it was on TV.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, yeah.
In my opinion, a lot of people think, when I think of big, I've seen bigs. I played college football. I had the opportunity to play against Alabama, LSU, when I was at UTC and see those games. So, like, when I think of big, that's what I think big is, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's
So,
some big boys out there.
seeing a muscular guy doesn't really phase me too much.
Right on, right on. Man, I read that story on Cage Side Press the day you made your amateur debut in October of 2020, that you had a football scrimmage and you played around 50 reps and you left from there to Knoxville to fight at a catch weight of 215 pounds.
Yep, I did. That's exactly what happened, man. It was crazy because right after the scrimmage, our coaches made us run sprints. And my teammates, they knew I was fighting, but my coaches didn't. And they was like, Finney, you should just walk out. Like, we'll cover for you. I was like, bro, I'll run the sprints. We ran 10 100-yard sprints. And I had to rush to the shower. I showered, jumped in, made my way back to the gym, rode my coach. I slept all the way to Knoxville. And I was a little sleepy in the back. I was sleeping in the back of the locker room. I was later on the card. So you got to remember, around those COVID cards, there would be like 20 fights on the card, mainly because nobody was doing no other promotions were really doing fights. So Valor was doing their fights. So since they were fighting, they was like, let's put up as many guys we get on the card as possible. So like when me and Tristan fought, there was 25 fights on the card. So that, like, you're gonna be waiting for a minute, So I think when I fought my amateur debut, there was probably like 18, 17 fights on the card. So I had a long time to wait.
Okay.
So I was waiting. I slept a little bit, but when I got it, I was like, man, if this goes anywhere past the first round, I'm probably gonna be toast. But I was blessed to go in there and get the 11-second finish. So
Yeah, man, you go in there and you starch Antonio Holt, like you said, in 11 seconds. I'm sure that was big for the confidence, getting that first fight out, getting that one.
it was, because earlier that year I had a boxing match, and I had lost
I heard about that.
match by decision. Yeah, that boxing match, I had lost that boxing match by decision, and mainly it was mainly to the fact that I went against a guy that had six. He was 6-2. He had 8 fights, and the guy originally supposed to win against, we both were gonna be debuts, but he pulled out. He accused me of being on steroids. It was so stupid. So I know, and I was playing college football at the time, so I couldn't be on steroids. You can try, but whatever. And then I went against this guy in boxing, and he beat me by decision. I won round 1, but round 2 and 3, I mean, the better boxer came out. And I had been boxing at that time for 3 months. So, compared to a guy that had a lot of experience, I ain't never really, that was my first time in wrestling is a combative sport, but that's the first time I'm in a sport where I have to get punched in the face. So, it was different. It was different, me punching. When you blow your load all in the first 30 to 45 seconds, and my cardio isn't what it was, what it is now compared to then. I was still playing football, so football cardio is completely different to boxing cardio, and I was weighing about 230 when I was in there, so it was that was different. But yeah, that was big for the confidence to get that first MMA win.
It was a whole different game, huh? Yeah, but big deal when you were able to go out there and finish him like you did. But yeah, I did hear the commentators speak about that boxing match that you were in.
Yeah, it wasn't too pretty.
Yeah, man.
There's growth in areas, man. You look back at stuff like that, man, and you're like, man, that's where I started. I could see the improvement. Thank God it was 2 years ago.
So we talked about that knockout, man. On your debut, 11 seconds, you got him out of there, man, and it did give you a lot of confidence moving forward. To be able to kind of redeem yourself from that loss in boxing, and just the fact that you were able to do that, and have a college football practice. That was a pretty amazing feat right there, and worthy of them, of a story on Cage Side Press.
Yeah, it was special, man. It was one of those things where you're like, man, I'm growing in the game. I'm getting better, and I've said I found the right team at the right time. You know, Agogi at the time wasn't a MMA school; they were just mainly a jiu-jitsu school. So, and they did a few MMA fights, but it wasn't like anything like you can come fight MMA here. So when I went, you know, at first they told me, you know, we only just do it for one guy, and we don't really do MMA. So I listened to him, but I was like, just give me a little time. I'll convince him I'll do MMA. Give me a little time. And then as time went on, man, now the school has it has thrived. We have a lot of MMA fighters. Heck, next week we have 3 guys fighting next week. You know, two of them in a title fight, you know, in an amateur title fight. So we're growing, man. Heck, and we just got, like I said, we just got a guy in the UFC. So, you know, a lot has come for a gym that doesn't do MMA.
Yeah, man, a lot of big things happening at Agogi, man. You know, a lot of great athletes training there now. You know, that's awesome. But yeah, man, I want to change gears for a little bit. Let's talk to me about college football, man. Playing at UTC, you know, for the Mocs. And I know you started playing football at age 4, very young age. So tell us about that experience, if you will.
Yeah, man. You know, playing college football was a really exciting performance, man. Really exciting career. It's one of those things where you get opportunity to go and play. You know, get some of the best talent in the country, and you know, got an opportunity to play for a school that I actually was recruited by to wrestle, but instead I wanted to play football. I wasn't on the football team, and you know, the rest was history, man. I was able to play here 4 years. I was an all-conference fullback during my junior year, and you know, I played my senior year, and you know, COVID hit. That's when I didn't play my 5th year. But I played 4 years, man, and I loved every second of it.
That's amazing, bro. Yeah, I did want to ask you. So, why did you choose football over wrestling? I mean, being the fact that you won 2 state championships in Georgia and you were 40-0 your senior year. What led to that decision? I'm sure it was a hard one, right?
Yeah, I mean it was, you know, but you know, at that time, I was one of those athletes that was you hear the notion D1 or nothing, you know, football or nothing. And I was playing a lot of football, and I was a really good football player, you know, especially on defense. That's what was my forte. And I had led the state of Georgia in sacks. I had one season, I had 24 sacks in a season. And my problem was, man, it was the fact that I was only looking at the football realms, man. I didn't care for wrestling in college much. I said if I wrestled in college, I told them, I said if I wanted to wrestle in college, everywhere I got recruited, North Carolina, Duke, UTC, Wisconsin, every college I went to, or talked to. I didn't get a chance to go to Wisconsin, but talked to. It's like we'll offer you, and like, hey, or Citadel, if we offer you, you know, for wrestling, you know, you have to just wrestle only. And their school was thrown out of my book. You know, I was like, well, if you won't let me wrestle, you won't let me play football, then I don't care to come here and just wrestle. And that was just a stupid mindset at the time, especially with what I'm doing now. I really wish I would have probably taken up on those opportunities, but God has a plan in favor regardless of what you do. But it was funny when I got to UTC, Coach Esslinger was the head wrestling coach, and he was recruiting me. And he was like, look, Finney, he said, I don't want you to do football and wrestling, but I'm going to tell you this. Whatever you want to do in your life, you want to give it your 100% commitment. He said, I'm not going to hold you back. I'm actually going to help. He was out of all the coaches, he actually helped me get on the football team, even though he recruited me for wrestling. So
wow.
I thank Coach Esslinger a lot for that. I really do. And he had asked me to come and wrestle heavyweight for him. At the end of my freshman year, and I did, mainly because he helped me out so much football wise, and you know, I'm sorry, at the end of my sophomore year, but yes, I did, and I wrestled heavyweight, even though it was detrimental to me because I tore my ACL my first match. It was sad, but I thank Coach Esslinger for everything he did for me, because he was actually, you know, for allowing me to just. Because I don't know if I would have went to UTC if he didn't help me get on the football team. You know, I would probably just like at UTC and go somewhere else. But he helped me out a lot, man. So he's a big part of the journey.
Yeah, man. I'm sure it was hard for you to pick between two things that you love so much that have been doing basically your entire life. And I did want to ask you, man, tell us about those two ACL injuries in 2019, man. I'm sure that was very difficult for you. That was a very difficult time for you, you know.
Yeah, it was, man. So my first ACL was at the end of 2017. I toured in
Oh, okay.
wrestling, and then yesterday in 2019, I toured my ACL in football practice. In spring. And yes, man, the moment it happened, I was like, freak. I knew it. I knew it was torn. I didn't want to accept it was torn, but I knew it was torn. And it was just I was sad, man. I was sad, and it hurt me because I was like, man, this is all I love to do. I love to play football, and I just Coach Matt make a good point. He said we love football, but football don't love us, and you have to. Sometimes you have to come to the exception of that, man. Sometimes the things we love might not love us back. And, depending on how hard and dedicated you really want to get that thing, you have to go all the way in. And I just wasn't, I was really hurt. I will tell you that much. I was really hurt when I tore my ACL the second time.
Right.
And, and that's the thing that's the reason why I started boxing, late in the year of 2019, because as I was recovering from my ACL surgery, the football team wouldn't let me play much. So I'm like this. I'm thinking like, man, well, forget this. I'm more like I worked really hard to get back, and then I'm not playing. So I'm a guy that like to stay active. I can't just sit down and do nothing. And I knew I still had some more good athletic career. My athletic career was still in front of me. I said to myself, like, I'm not done. Like, I know I'm not in the NFL. I know I wouldn't make it in the NFL, but I'm like, I know I'm not done being an athlete. I don't want to just go to the gym and just work out. I know I can do that, but I want to work out for a purpose. I want to have something in store, in plan. It's a little different when you have to work out, when the guy you're about to fight is also in the gym working out, training as well. It's different then. You train differently. You train harder. Like that, I like that type of training. I don't like to train just to be like, I'm just staying in shape, keeping the calories. I don't care for that. I don't want to work out like, I want to train with a purpose. I don't want to just train to lose weight. I want to train to be great. So
Yeah.
it's something. That's why I love this sport, man. It's giving me that burning fire, man. Like, so what's next? And that's the great thing about it. Like, each fight is what's next, and you have to keep training harder because you can't stay stagnant. You stay stagnant, that's when you get caught. So I'm trying to get better every single time.
No doubt. It's like each fight is building up to the next one. And yeah, man. You are like we were saying, you were a two-time state champion wrestler in Georgia. I'm sure you're very proud of that accomplishment. And you did say in one post-fight interview that you were coming for that WWE title.
Yeah, I did say that. I said it don't matter the title, it didn't matter what promotion. I'm coming for all the belts. I want all the belts.
So you're an athlete and you love to compete. Could we see you one day in the squared circle?
You could. Hey, I am surely not against that one. Probably will one day. You never know. So give me some more notoriety in MMA. We might see myself in that square circle.
The Punisher versus the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. How about that?
Man. Hey, yeah, I'll take him down.
Yeah. Well, here's a fun one. Who would be your dream WWE opponent? Current and in any other era?
Current, I would say Bobby Lashley.
Ooh, man. Okay.
And any era, I would go with, man, that's tough.
All right, the Attitude Era then.
I know, man, the Attitude Era. I mean, you got a lot of good guys in that. I mean, you got Stone Cold, but see, so look, obviously, yes, you got the star names, but I want a match that would be a really good match between like two different, like you got the Brute versus like a high flyer or a technical technician. Like, I think I could have a good solid match with a guy like Jeff Hardy. You know,
Ooh, Jeff
you know,
Hardy he's a great wrestler, bro.
it is
Super
like
entertaining.
I could have some fun with that. That's just some things I could see. So that would be like a match like that or AJ Styles, something like that. But I
Oh,
would like if I had to wrestle something, I would like Bobby Lashley. That'd be lit.
dude, I would love that. All those matchups sounded good, man. You versus Jeff Hardy. I wasn't even thinking about that. That would be crazy, man. In a ladder match.
A ladder match, I
Let's
know, man.
go.
My big old self jumping off a ladder onto a table. I love to
Oh
do
my
that.
gosh. You gotta let him give you the swanton bomb off the ladder through a table.
I'll take one. I'll take
Through the
one.
through the Spanish announce table. There you
Yes,
go.
sir.
That would be so lit, bro. That's crazy, man. Yeah, but man, also outside the octagon, bro, what are your hobbies? What I know training is everything, but other than that, what do you like to do, bro? Just for just laid back time, chill time.
I know she said on the broadcast that that I have no personal life, but I do have a personal life.
All right, all right. You're not
I
a machine. I
know,
thought you were a robot. Okay.
I'm about to say I do have a personal life, at least that I do have friends. She said I had no friends, no personal life. No, I don't have a girlfriend, but I got some friends. Heck, I'm enjoying my birthday with some of my friends, so I got some friends. At least that. But outside, man, all I do mainly is I just play the game. I play Fortnite. Play a little Madden, watch a little Madden, and I watch a lot of football, like college football. When college football, I watch a lot of football, watch a lot of NBA.
Sports. Yep.
Those are mainly my hobbies. And obviously watch fighting, UFC. I watch a lot of Bellator, UFC 1, PFL. I watch all the promotions, so I keep my eyes on everybody.
Love sports. Yep. That's awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to hit you up on that, see what else, because like you said, man, that's when she was commentating. She said that was that you were just it made it sound like you were the Terminator or something, man. Like this.
Yeah. I thank her very much for giving me that type of
That's good though. Yeah.
acknowledgement in that area.
Hey, also, man.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Also, I know you commentate for Arius fight series. Do you love doing that as well, man? How's
Yeah.
that?
Yes, I love commentating. So my degree was in communications. I had a communication degree in college. I have 2 degrees. So I have a degree in communication and a degree in sports administration. So I love both of those things, man. I love commentating. I love talking sports. I've commentated football. I've commentated wrestling. I've done MMA. I've even had to do golf. So like I've done. I wasn't good at golf. But I've commentated all those sports, man, and I've enjoyed it, man. I love it. I love it.
That's great, man. And you're also the co-host of the TNT podcast. Let us know what that's all about. And your co-host, Tyler Layfield.
Yeah, man. Tyler started the podcast when he started in COVID. So when COVID hit, everybody at home, everybody doing things. He wanted to do a podcast, man, and we just started talking sports, and we was doing things within Jones County where we live. We was doing like rankings, top athletes in Jones County, or like best seasons in your hometown. So like that's the best way to like really start a podcast, or a show, is to get the people locally, get them bought into like what you're doing and what you're bringing to the table. Then after that, then we started branching out. So now our podcast, people all over be listening to the podcast. But first, we started in Jones County, and starting a hometown. Did some things like do some stuff dealing with high school football, or do some things dealing or with the inside the Middle Georgia area that'll get their attention. Because let's be honest, an athlete, they love to be recognized. So if you start going after athletes within, the city and be like, I think this athlete's better than this athlete, and then they'll be listening, they'll be like, no, and they get to talking and you get to listening. It creates talk, but that's what you want about your show. Mm-hmm. And we started that within the city, and then as time went on, man, we just kept growing. Now we just do all the sports.
Yeah, I did. I'd listened to couple of the last episodes, man. But yeah, you're right. Hitting up those local city sports and stuff is good to get some buzz around the town, about your show. So also, man,
Yes.
I know you're a big fight fan yourself. Are you with me there?
Yes.
Okay, I know you're a big fight fan yourself. UFC 280 is tomorrow, and I did listen to your podcast yesterday, but I still want you to let us know. Give us a breakdown of the top three fights on that card. Who you got and why? Who wins and why? Start
All right.
with
Where you want?
Sean O'Malley versus Jan, please.
All right. So Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan. That's a big fight. Obviously, right now, Peter Yan is the heavy favorite in that fight. I think he is currently a minus 320 last time I checked. That's a big favorite against a guy like Sean O'Malley. Sean is a really tough opponent. Um, on the show, yes, I did. I picked Sean O'Malley, the underdog, to win this fight. Reason why? Yes, I think overall Peter Yan is the better striker. Not flashy per se, but in his style, he's going to have pressure. He's going to be consistent. He's going to stay in your face. He's not going to back up. I think with Sean O'Malley, I don't see Sean O'Malley knocking out Peter Yan, but I do see him outpointing Peter Yan. A thing that you got to take into account is Peter Yan might be the better fighter, but all fighters got holes, man. And I think Peter Yan hole is his grappling.
Okay.
I'm not a really good grappler. I'm just saying I think Sean O'Malley is going to exploit that a little bit. I know a lot of people don't see O'Malley trying to grapple, but I think once he starts feeling that Yan pressure, he's going to try to grapple a little bit. And I'm going to lean into the area. I think Sean O'Malley is going to exploit some of Peter Yan's grappling. Now, I know that's a bold take, but I got Sean O'Malley winning this fight. Because if you look back, Sean O'Malley in his Chito Vera fight, he struggled. He hurt his foot. Pedro Munoz, no contest. Every time he gets put into a big fight, something always happens.
Yeah.
Now he's another big fight. No more excuses, Jan. No more excuses, O'Malley. No more, I hurt my foot. No more the eye poke. No more this, and that. Now it's time for you to really show who you are. And I think this is the make or break for the hype train. He wins this fight, his stock blows out of the water. He loses this fight, I think his stock drops a little bit. It's going to be like everybody, because a lot of people don't even believe in Sean O'Malley right now. And I think since he has a lot to fight for right now, it changes the story.
Right. Are you still there? Yeah, man.
Yes, I'm still here. Am I breaking up?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, but I got you. I think I got most of that. Yeah, I'm with you on that narrative. It's like this is where there's no more excuses. Like you said, the two fights against the top guys, Chito Vera. Hello.
You hear me? Do you hear me really well? Sorry. Hello?
Yes, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, no, I was just agreeing with you on that, man, because this is the fight that's going to show us if the hype is for real or not. Like, how good is this guy? We know he has the skills to compete at bantamweight, but how good is he really? Where does he land in that, top 15? Is he potentially a top 5 fighter, potentially a championship fighter, or is he more of a very entertaining fighter with a lot of hype, but not quite in that top 5 in that division? And so this is the big test for him.
Yes, I agree with you, man. I 100% agree with you. I think Sean O'Malley, we'll see if he's the real deal.
For sure, bro. And
if he is, I think he should fight him.
Do what?
I said, and if he is the real deal, I think he should fight for the title.
Oh, yeah, of course. If he wins, man, like you said, the hype's going to be through the roof. There's going to be no other option than to book him against the winner of TJ versus Aljo. And with that being said, break down for me TJ versus Aljo, if you will.
All right, so in that fight, I like that fight a lot. That's probably the most evenly matched fight on the card. I say that because TJ is a really good – he wrestled D1, obviously, but that don't mean nothing because they both wrestled in college. I know a lot of people talk about wrestling D1 and D3 and all this, but Usman wrestled D3 wrestler, and he's just as good as a wrestler as anybody in the UFC. So don't believe in that D1, D3 bull crap. It don't matter. Wrestling is wrestling. All right. It's just the level of competition you win against. But if you're able to mix it up better than another, then his wrestling could be better than yours. And I think Aljamain Sterling is going to do that. He's going to go in there I don't see him knocking out TJ. I'm gonna tell you something. Now that's the only thing I have. My only flaw, Aljamain, his striking is not up to par with TJ. If he it's really unorthodox. So that's the thing about mixing it up. He's gonna be feinting takedowns, throwing out high kicks, just wild stuff to get inside. The moment Aljamain Sterling locks his hands on TJ, I think the fight ends, and I think he submits TJ Dillashaw. TJ Dillashaw has never been submitted in his career. It happens this time.
Oh my gosh, you're taking Aljo by submission. That might be a hot take, man. I mean, I think a lot of people are.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. The thing with
and
me
I
is,
just Aljamain by the decision as well.
yeah, man. The thing that I see is that the fact that this is TJ's second fight in 4 years, man. I don't think they've been talking about that enough. I mean, other than that Corey Sandhagen fight, he got finished at 125 by Henry Cejudo in like 32 seconds, and then he had all those, you know, violation suspension because of the EPOs. Um, so I mean, only 2 fights in 4 years, and he's 36 years old. Yes, he's got like the most knockouts at bantamweight, and he's probably one of the greatest bantamweights of all time. But I mean, I just think that Aljo's just been so much more active, and he's fought in,
Yes,
you know, and I think
I
that
agree
plays
with
a
you.
big factor, man. Don't you?
It does. It does. Yes, being activity is a huge factor.
Yeah.
That's I'm not. I believe what Aljamain Sterling says. He's not. I think TJ isn't the same fighter he used to be. If this was 4 years ago, then yeah, this might be a little tougher challenge. But he said, I think this TJ Dillashaw is on the back end of his career, and I believe him. I believe Aljamain Sterling's on the come up and TJ is on the back end. And this is the best time to fight a legend like TJ Dillashaw. And I think this is a big win for Aljamain Sterling because it will cement his championship legacy. I know a lot of people get mad at him for fighting Peter Yan the way he did, or how he took the first fight, from Peter Yan by taking that disqualification. But, I think this fight, you beat a guy like TJ Dillashaw, regardless of how you beat him, it's gonna put some eyes on you now, and your name will be amongst some of the top bantamweights.
No doubt. He's still a big name with a lot of credibility. And yeah, I mean, let's see. Maybe he can turn back the clock. Who knows? But definitely a very entertaining fight. I think it should still be entertaining either way. So, with
Oh
that
yes,
being said, the big fight, the main event, Charles do Bronx Oliveira versus Islam Mahashkev. Who wins and why?
now evenly matched compared to just a great matchup. Man, let me tell you something about this. I am so conflicted on both sides. All right. One minute I got
Charles?
Islam. Then next minute I got Oliveira. Bro, when you look at this fight, all right, Oliveira said he's coming out early, he's gonna knock him out. Islam himself is saying he's gonna smother him, take him to the deep waters, and then finish him. I say the longer this fight goes, the better chance Islam wins. I do believe Oliveira needs to finish him within 2 rounds for him to win. Third, fourth, fifth, when you have Islam wearing on your body, constantly staying with body locks, constantly on your legs, constantly tying up, constantly on your back, constantly in your face, that's going to wear on you, man. And when that started hitting that rounds 3, 4, maybe 5, I don't see Oliveira being able to hold up. The reason why I say that is because Kevin Lee was able to take down Oliveira. Kevin Lee was able to hold Oliveira down until he got caught with that triangle. Kevin Lee is no Islam Makhachev. Now, granted, I know that fight was 2 years ago, I believe.
Yeah.
But, man, this is a different beast. Islam, your wrestling ain't going to get that much better within 2 years. I don't care who you are, man. When you got a guy like Islam that's been wrestling all his life, literally since birth, Habib been in his corner. Like, he's the main training partner of one of the greatest, if not the greatest lightweight in UFC history. Like, I don't see Oliveira subbing him, but I do see Oliveira knocking him out. All right. Islam Chin, in my opinion, is a little suspect.
He's been finished before.
Yes, right. That's the only way he's lost. I can see Oliveira knocking him out. But what I do not see I do not see Oliveira being able to be on top and just being able to control Islam in a way or any type of fashion. And you have to go back and look. The best jiu-jitsu guy Islam went against was Thiago Moses, and you see how he mauled Thiago.
It's true.
We'll see, man. It's gonna be a good fight. I got Islam 4th round ground and pound TKO.
Let's go, man. Hey,
4th round.
regardless, it's going to be fireworks. And, the UFC lightweight division, arguably the most deepest division in the UFC. There's so many killers in that division and so many guys on the come up, like you're saying, your boy Trevor Peak as well. I mean, it's such a deep division, and I believe this is the best fight that the best matchup the UFC could put together this year. So super exciting. This card's going to be amazing, two of the greatest lightweights of all time, I would say, even at this point. I mean, Islam, even without winning a title, I would say he's one of the best of all time at lightweight. I think it's 10 in a row maybe for him at lightweight, and Charles.
Yeah, he's 11. Mm-hmm. And then you ask yourself the question, like, who? Either one of these guys lose, who's gonna beat them?
Exactly.
Either one of these guys lose, who's gonna beat them behind them? Like, I don't see nobody. I don't see Beneil Dariush beating either one of these boys. I don't see Gamrot beating either one of these boys. Heck, I don't see Michael Chandler beating either one of these guys. Even though I know Michael Chandler is explosive, that's the only thing you got to worry about. Michael Chandler do got explosive power, and he can knock you
bombs.
Out. But he got the bombs. But you take away that factor, I don't see how he beat Islam. So like, I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough for anybody to beat these two.
Yeah, this is like the only matchup that. You put them against anybody else in the top 10 and you would favor them. This is the only matchup where you're like, well, it could maybe go either way, between these two. But anybody else that they would go up against, they obviously would be the favorite in the top, against anyone in the top 10.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So that's awesome. We'll be super excited for that one. Again, like you were saying on your podcast, 2 p.m. start time, Eastern time. So we don't got to stay up so late to watch this fight, which is great.
No, you do. No, we do not.
Yeah. So, man, tell us what's next for you, man. I mean, I know you just fought Friday, but how soon, in the perfect world, how soon would we be seeing you in the cage?
Man, I don't know that answer either myself, man. I was told to just wait and be patient and see what's next. So I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna wait and see what happens, man. That was a big win for me and helped catapult my career a little bit. So we'll wait and see.
Nice. And we know, obviously, the plan is to be in one of the top promotions, if not the UFC, and obviously the world title. That's the ultimate goal. Correct?
That's right. That is. Oh, yes, sir. That's the ultimate goal. I go in there to fight, and I want to fight the best, and I want to go in there and beat the best. So I'm not in there to play around. I want to fight. I want to fight, and I really want to do this for a good little minute. I want to do this for as long as possible. So why not get a chance to do it in the biggest promotion in the world for as long as you can?
Yeah, man, of course. And you're only going to turn 24 in a few days, so much time,
Yeah,
that's amazing. But yeah, man. I mean, hey, with that being said, tell everyone where they can find you, connect with you, pick up some merch. I was on millions.com. I picked up a t-shirt. Let us know where we can find you.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of it the same. The Punisher Torrez. Just say Punisher Torrez. You can find me at Punisher Torrez and Torrez Finney on Facebook. Snapchat, same thing. Punisher Torrez is all the same. So you can find me anywhere on those social medias. The TNT podcast is on all podcast network. You got Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You have all of those networks. It's on every single one. Anchor. So definitely, man, you can definitely go on and check me out. And thank you. Thank everyone for all the support. Thank you, Joel, for the support, man. Thank you for having me on the show. Thank you for, getting some merch. So you can also go to millions.com. I have a link tree on all of my social media. So you just click on the link tree. You can find my YouTube. You can find everything, man. Just type my name in. You'll find it.
Right on, man. Hey, do you have a message for your Latino fan base?
All right. Um, I'm gonna tell you this. When I was in high school, my Spanish name was El Pollo Frito. El Pollo Frito. Yes. So I know fried chicken. I don't know, but that was my little nickname. I love fried chicken. But yeah, I would say for my Latino fan base, thank you very much, man, and gracias.
Muchas gracias. We love it, man. We love it.
My Spanish wasn't too good. I took Spanish 4 years, and I still ain't too good. I still got to learn some more.
Yeah, man. No, that's good, man. No doubt, bro. Yes, I really appreciate your time. It was awesome, and man, we're looking forward to see you in the cage. As soon as possible, whenever you're ready, whenever the right opponent or situation comes up, we'll be on the lookout for that. And is there anything else? Any last words? You wanna cut an old school wrestling promo on us or something? Call someone.
No, I usually try to cut the promos in the cage, but all I want to say is thank you, man. Thank you, Joel. Thank you very much, man. I'm excited for your show, man. Definitely gonna be continuing to tune in. You do the breakdowns. I really enjoy those. So, man, continue to do what you do, brother, and definitely would like to be back on here soon.
Thank
Whenever.
you, Torrez. Yeah, yeah, of course. We would love to have you back soon. Hopefully, whenever there's a fight announcement or something, if we can get a moment, just a little bit of your time. But yeah, bro, we appreciate it. I hope you have a good weekend. Have a good birthday. Tomorrow, UFC 280. Don't go too crazy during the fights, man. Okay. I get it. I'm not even a fighter, and I get anxious before those guys walk out there because I'm so invested. I'm so invested in their fights and in their careers. I have anxiety thinking about them going out there to fight tomorrow. I get nervous before they're about to walk out the cage, man. I feel like I'm having a heart attack. I'm so invested in these guys, man. It's crazy.
I'm the same way, bro. I'm the same way. So I agree with you. When my teammates about to fight, I'm actually more nervous for my teammates than I am by my own self fighting. So
Right, right.
so
Cool, man. All right, brother.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time, man. You have a good one, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man.
We'll catch you later. Thanks.
You too.
Bye. Now, everybody, thank you so much for tuning into our show. We really appreciate everyone listening, all our listening audience, and yeah, thank you. That was our first ever podcast interview with Torrez El Punisher Finney. That guy's the real deal. He's going places. All right, everyone, you have a good one. We'll be back.